Up, everybody? It's your girl Nita, your favorite diva, and I am back to do some catch-up sessions on the Braxtons. Y'all been getting into the Braxtons? The Braxtons? Oh boy, it is a lot. I have a lot to say. I have a lot of unpopular opinions, and we're gonna just go ahead and get right on into it. The episode is very Tracy centered again, very sad and heavy. And yeah, y'all, so I'm gonna have to go ahead and give you the spoiler warning, the trigger warning. We're gonna run down some things. I'm gonna have some unpopular opinions, some rants, some things to say, and we're just gonna go ahead and get into it and fight me in the comments if you want to, okay? So y'all go ahead and like up the video while the intro plays. Anita, your favorite diva, and I'm back. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, let the diva know you stopped by. Make sure you subscribe if you like the vibe. If this is your first time here, welcome and welcome back, Diva Squad. So I give it 3 out of 5 stars. It knew what it was and it delivered just that. I'm doing a trailer reaction and
on Nita the Diva's channel.
Hey Moochie. Listen, okay, y'all. We're gonna get into it. The episode is called Healing Takes Time. The synopsis reads: the family comes together for grief counseling and emotions run high as they mourn the loss of their beloved Tracy. When one family member leaves the therapy unexpectedly, tensions begin to flare, causing Miss E to lay down the law. All right, y'all, we are going to get into some things. We're going to break some things down, and we're going to go ahead and get into the meats and the potatoes of this episode. So first of all, I want to say we are going to be discussing grief, PTSD. If you or someone you know is in need of immediate support, call or text 988 for a free confidential conversation. And that is 24/7. Now listen, y'all give Miss E the blues. And I'm gonna tell you why. I'm going to tell you why we're under a system of patriarchy, right? All right. We are under a system of patriarchy, and it's an upside down thing. The man misbehaves and they blame the women for the fallout and whatever. So listen, we're going to give Mama E hers. We're going to give it to her. But this man right here that's on the screen, this is the real culprit. This is the man who dishonored his marriage. This is the man who broke up a home. This is the man who started all of the trauma. However, because the way he conducts himself now is like he's made peace with it. He's absolved himself from the situation. He sleeps well at night. Miss E, although you look like you sleep well at night, I don't know. I think those kids gave you a run for your money. You were bitter. You were mad. You were all those things to your husband, and you took it out on them kids. You love them. I'm not saying you don't love them, but there was a level of the way that they are scared of you. There is a level of something that is there, like the way you used to discipline them, the way you used to do things. Trina, okay, mommy, I ain't saying that. I'm sorry. Listen, Trina, girl, ain't you almost 50 years old? Cowering to your mommy like that? I mean, I understand respect, but it's just a way. Like I see it all over Evelyn. When they asked Daddy how he felt, girl, when I tell you the devil didn't come sit on her lap, she was distraught. I think they got divorced in 2000. This is 24 years later, and this woman still looks like she is seething through her ears. Like you can see steam coming out of her ears whenever we're talking about Mr. Braxton. Now that's just me. You let me know what you see. You let me know what you see. But listen, that's what I see. He is the culprit. But of course, like, they give the man the benefit of the doubt. And then also, too, the way the women function, they are very toxic and dysfunctional. Hello, Tamar. Okay. Evelyn did the best with what she could. She did the best that she had. She is what is she? What is her generation? I want to say she's the The silent generation or the baby boomer. I think she's a baby boomer. And that that generation, there was a lot of toxicity that was going on, and you just kind of had to take it. And yeah, so listen, I was just like, okay, we'll see. But like I said, this is the culprit, y'all. Let's not forget. Let's not play dumb. Let's not be obtuse. Okay. All right, we're gonna move on. He said he's fine. He said I'm here to facilitate easier way to facilitate my family through this. They suppress their feelings. They don't really feel and do too much like that or whatever. So I think that is like what he really does to cope with his situation. Miss E, we're gonna have to give you something, baby. Listen, I think let's get to it. She is a toxic matriarch. Sorry. She's here for appearances. She's here for sweeping things underneath the rug. She's here for how does it look. She's here for that type of thing. Remember, they were in the church, y'all. First lady, man of God, appearances. So let's not forget. Whenever these kids have to try to have a conversation, and Miss E, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. If you cannot allow these girls to get these feelings out, scream, holler, have an argument, you need to excuse yourself out the room. The only way you can handle problems is to reveal them. They have to talk to them. They have to speak to what happened to them. They cannot keep on trying to wear this facade for you. If you want some true healing to happen in your family, you're going to have to remove yourself, or you're going to have to just put your big girl panties on. Okay. So if you don't want to hear them screaming and hollering and hooping and hollering and doing all that stuff, they have to do whatever they need to do. If they want to get some resolve between them, you have to let them have it. Also, too, I'm not going to sit up here and let y'all play in my face. I know y'all love Tracy, but y'all mistreated Tracy because she picked her father's side. She did not toss her father away like the rest of y'all, like Miss E wanted y'all to do. She still remained and had a very good relationship with her father. And I think that the mom resented Tracy for that. I remember in Braxton Family Values, there was something like she would take up for him when they was trying to dog walk Mr. Braxton, Daddy Braxton. Tracy said, not on my watch.
Don't say that.
Okay. So come on now. Let's call a thing a thing. We want to call a thing a thing. And we're going to keep on going through or whatever. But yeah, that's what I had to say about that. So, of course, this is a continuation from the first episode, right? Trini, we know Trini is the one that is hurting the most. Tamar is definitely suffering with the spoiled brat, the youngest child syndrome. I think that she has a level of resentment to the older siblings who moved on. They aged out of the house, carried on their own lives, and she missed them. And because they don't reach back down and, hey Tamar, what you doing, baby? Like treat her like the baby, like she's used to being treated. She in turns acts out. And she gets triggered because let me tell you what Tamar's feeling. Tamar is feeling alone. She's feeling like the older siblings, they've had enough of her antics. Now she's feeling rejection from her siblings because they pretty much got a fucking attitude. They can take or leave Tamar. They can. And Tamar's problem is that Tamar can't call a thing a thing. She want to lump all the girls, even though I don't believe all of the sisters do this with Tamar, but she doesn't want to point to Tawanda and say, bitch, You are the one that is triggering me because you act like you don't love me. You act like you can take or leave me. That is exactly how Tamar feels. Tony D. Braxton. She is booked and busy. Yes, she may be able to call and check on you, Tamar, but at some point you have to understand that people are in their different lives and you cannot hold that over them. Okay? So yeah, anyway, Trina is the one that is hurting the most. Let me see if I can get a picture of Trina. Okay. She is the most hurt, y'all. She's been eating and drinking her pain away. She said she saw Tracy take her last breath. She said Tawanda told her that she didn't think she should do this. She does not think that she is strong enough to handle watching Tracy take her last breath. And guess what? Tawanda was absolutely right. Tawanda was absolutely right. Even though they call her the responsible one, I kind of hate that whole, you know, that whole thing. But at the end of the day, she does hold all the secrets. She is the gatekeeper to everyone except for Tamar. I think she lets mommy deal with Tamar, but as far as everybody else, she knows where all the bodies are buried. Okay, so Tracy and Trina were the most closest. They were the closest. So she took it really, really bad. She took it really bad. They asked Kevin Jr. Um, Matter of fact, shout out to Spirit. I don't think I got a picture of her in here, but shout out to Spirit because she listens to people. She disengages. She doesn't go in. She doesn't get into the minutia. Like there was a family emergency that happened, and she removed herself. She didn't get drawn up into it. She didn't do none of those types of things. She removed herself whenever she had to redirect or redo. I love the way she facilitated that with a big, like a big crowd like that. So we see Kevin Jr. Y'all, when I tell you I see the pain on that boy's face, that young man's face, honey, here's the most innocent tragedy of it all. They were like best friends. They were like best friends. And then, I'm about to cry. Okay. Okay. I'm not, okay. I'm getting myself together. And then on top of that, when grief happens, it's either good or bad. Either brings you closer together or it takes you further apart, right? He's going through a divorce now. The wife wants a divorce. And his mother loved that girl, loved her down. And now, in the midst of his grieving of his mom having to lose his wife, listen, I'm so sad for him. I'm just so sad for him. Um, okay, Mama E, she actually went through and she was talking about how she almost lost Tracy a couple of times during pregnancy and childbirth. But she said in the end, she didn't want to see her in all that pain, and she prayed that God would take her to get her out of the pain. She couldn't help her. I was like, oh my God, y'all. When I tell y'all this thing was eating me up. It was tearing me up. It really was. Um, it looks like Tony to me. She seems like she has a bit of survivor's remorse. She has the eldest child syndrome where you are the fixer, you are the peacemaker, you are the caretaker. She's always had that thing. She's made it. The rest of the people didn't make it. She tried to, pull them up with her, but at the end of the day, it's Tony D. Braxton that is the living legend. Okay. She looks very depressed. She looks like she's like high functioning depression. Like, I know I have lupus. I know I have these ailments. I have this. I have that. She just looks so sullen. But she still has to continue to push forward because that's how it's always been with Tony. Okay. I'm glad that she spoke her truth. She was saying that the way I told you again, Miss E, the way she brought those girls up, that her sisters meant more to her than her actual physical children that she had, and she had to work on that. And dare I even say that Miss E, you have raised some codependent children, and they are trying to break free from that in adulthood, but still try to maintain a healthy relationship. But because of the codependency that you've instilled in them, they can't do anything. It's like their hands are tied. They're sitting on their hands. They can't do nothing. And then when they get to arguing and trying to say something, then you blowing up like a crazy woman. Come on now. Come on, Miss E. Come on. Tony sitting up there looking depressed. Yeah, that's grief, but she also can't be her own person because she is so tethered to how you raised her. Yeah. So we asked about Tawanda asked to tap in with Daddy and little Kevin. Daddy says he's okay. He just wanted to, best assist his family through this. Miss E still hates that man. These are my these are my notes. The hate is so real, baby. Kevin said he's not doing well. Then some kind of commotion happens, and Spirit takes a good cue. She redirects the conversation back over to the girls. Tamar seems to get into a tizzy because she wants to make the situation about her. Mama E talks to Tawanda, tell her to go check on Kevin. Trina was trying to, Tony didn't know what was going on, but Trina kept tapping Tony. Now, Tamar was like, that sound like the po-po. That sound like the po-po. I'm like, girl, see, that's why people don't want to, girl, because you just take it to a whole nother level. That is a young man. And if it is the po-po, we don't want him exposed like that on national TV, Tamar. Come on, girl. Come on. So she's like, it's so many secrets in this family and stuff like that. And I'm just like, oh no, all we're trying to do is make sure little Kevin is okay and not pick this mess up on this TV screen. So Tawana goes back there. Of course, ain't nobody say cut the camera. So the cameras is back there following them. I'm like, I guess it could be on TV because the cameras are still following them. It's still in the edit. He's still being exposed. So anyway, Tamar gets upset when little Kevin gets a knock at the door. Tawanda's handled it. She walks off. Kevin leaves. The popo, he had a warrant for his arrest. Okay. Trina kept tapping Tony like, we don't want to expose this on TV, but she gets snappy and makes it all about her when the boy is the one that's in trouble. And just because ain't nobody privy you to the situation, Tamar, because of the way you act, might I add, that's why everything is kept a secret from you, okay? All right. Just self-absorbed. I was like, oh God. Then they began to have this conversation about Tamar feeling like she had to beg for her sisterhood. Now, see, this is where their problems exist. And I think everybody else has made their peace with it. Trina is there for Tamar. But I guess, sometimes you get love and you get admiration from people, but for some reason you always kind of like worry about the love that you don't have. So no matter if Trina is showing her the love, no matter if Tony is showing her the love, whenever she can, because like I said, Tony is booked and busy. However, Tawanda has always been the problem with Tamar. And instead of Tamar just pointing it out and saying she gets passive aggressive, she starts to say all these things and then all this other stuff. And she's talking about now she doesn't worry about it. I have my boundaries, and she's grouped everybody together. Trina said, no. Me and you, we talk every day. We are fine. So stop trying to lump the sisterhood in it and point to who you got the problem with. So anyway, we all know she got the problem with Tawana. So Tamar gets to making all these faces like she always do, okay? She's irritated, and Tawanda is indifferent. And basically, because Tawana has gotten to a point of indifference with Tamar. Tamar is mad. Tamar wants her to kiss her ass. She wants her to beg her for the sisterhood. She wants her to be going up behind her and all this other stuff. They go get into this whole situation about when was the last time you called me. She said they talked about they haven't heard from each other until September. She said, I called you yesterday. She said, and I picked up. She said, yeah, because we're taping. Like I said, facade, putting on appearances. Otherwise, they don't listen. I don't mean no harm, but once Mama E, Miss E is up out of here, them girls will barely speak to each other. Barely. Except for Trina. Trina, I think she has cultivated a relationship with each one of her sisters and is the most healthy as far as not holding grudges against her sisters or whatever. She seems to be the most together about it. Tawana, girl, she like take you, leave you. All I'm worried about is who in my household, my man and my children. Okay. So, and then like I said, Tony is booked and busy. Tamar, oh baby, you just need to get your life. What you used to say? Get your life? Yes, girl. That's what you're gonna have to do is get your life. You do have little Logan and child, the chicken man. Uh, what's his name? The Colonel Sanders. Girl, you need to drop him. You need to drop him. It's a mess. It's a mess. It's a mess. So so now because Spirit has picked up on that Tamar is irritated because she set a boundary. Tawanda respects the boundary. She said, I have to meet you where you are, you know? And she was like, so Tawanda, how do you feel that your sister has closed off access to her? She was like, I don't feel no ways about it. She said, it's not a negative, it's not a positive, it just is what it is. She said she's numb to it. I said she's indifferent to it. But semantics, tomato, whatever. But Tamar wants Tawanda to kiss her ass, basically. And she mad that Tawanda don't care whether or not you got a boundary or not, girl. I could care less. I'm on my grown woman shit, and it is what it is. I'm focused on my individual family. Yes, we got siblings and we got parents and we got all the things, but I don't have to force anything. I don't. And that's fine too. And Tamar starts having her meltdown or whatever. And during this meltdown, Mama E cracks the whip and say, y'all act like y'all are enemies. Stop this. I just lost a child. Don't you know how precious life is and how short life is? You got to stop this foolishness for God's sake. Honey, and like I said, Miss E, everybody gets quiet. But Miss E, what I'm saying to you is we in therapy, and ain't nothing gonna get solved if you don't let these girls talk. So if you need to put your church finger up and take yourself on out this room, then that's what you need to do. Okay? Everybody gets quiet, and that's basically where the episode ended, y'all. So y'all let me know what you think about it. What do you think about my hot takes? What do you think about the session? How do y'all think that Tamar wants Tawanda to kiss her ass? Because that is my assessment of it. Do you think that Tony is suffering with high functioning depression? And Trini just needs some help. We're going to, Spirit say you are dealing with PTSD from seeing your sister come up out of here, and we're going to get you some help for that because we cannot be coping with drinking and eating. Trini says she eats for everybody. She says, I eat for Tony, I eat for you, I eat for all of y'all. I said, Lord, girl. Yeah, we need to get something done with that. But like I said, if you do not reveal, if you do not speak to the problem, you cannot solve the problem. Okay? So yeah, that's just nice little take on that. And I just want to know your comments. We're going to get into it. I'm getting ready to go into episode 3. So you make sure you stay tuned for that one. As always, I'm Nita, your favorite diva. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And make sure you come back, y'all.